What is going on, guys? So today I'm going to talk about a pretty simple topic, and that is researching, talking to people about the military, talking about basic training or whatever, and then the information that you are getting from those people or those sources is expired. Alright, so this video is sponsored by myself, my merch, right? So if you guys have not checked out my store, the link is going to be down in the description down below, so a little self-plug there. But the reason that I'm doing this video is because of some stuff that I've been thinking about. So the last video that I made, it may not be the last video I've uploaded, but it's the last video that I've made where I talked about the APFT and how, you know, you go to basic training now, you don't want to go to basic training out of shape. And the reason is you could now be sent home, or you could be sent off to this camp to actually, that will actually delay your basic training graduation, all that stuff, which didn't really used to be the case. It was a thing, but it's become a lot more prevalent now, and they're being a lot stricter now than whenever I went to basic training, which was about 4 years ago now. And I just know that for a lot of you that are going to be going to basic training here soon, you're using a lot of different online sources. You're using a whole bunch of different people, maybe your parents, maybe your grandparents, maybe your uncle, maybe some other person who was in the military 15 years ago, and you're asking them all these questions about the military and what it's like and all this, that, and the other, and you're hearing all these different stories, and you're hearing conflicting arguments and conflicting stories, and all this is the case, this is the case, this is the case, right? And you don't really know what to make of it, or you believe somebody, you go to basic training, maybe you watch one of my videos and I said that, hey, you could kind of go in whatever shape possible. You could go in the worst shape in the world and you're still going to pass basic training. And then, you know, you do one push-up, you can't do any sit-ups, and then you can't run at all, and then they send you home and you're like, what the heck? You know, Matt said that you could go to basic training in any kind of shape whatsoever, and as long as I don't quit, then I'm going to be okay and I should be able to pass. Well, the video that I made, that was kind of true for my case of basic training. So when I went to basic training, really theoretically you could go to basic as long as you met the height and weight standards. You should come out on the other end as long as you put the work in, and you would pass, right? Now it's not so much the case. You're going to have to put a little bit more work in up front before going to basic training, so you're in a little bit better shape once you get there, right? So that's a little bit of a change that has happened since I've gone to basic. But what I want to talk about is for all of you, right? So I want to just give you guys a heads up in this video. It's kind of like a PSA, and I want to kind of point out a few different areas of what you guys should really be looking at whenever you're looking at basic training, or you're looking at the Army, or you're looking at the military, the Air Force, the Marines, or whatever, and whatever source you're getting that information from, you need to pay attention to these few things, right? So one of the great places to actually understand things about the military is online, but you really need to be careful whenever you're looking online, because number one, it could be completely wrong, it can be completely outdated information. You really need to pay attention to that. So if you're looking at articles that are written by different journalists, people that aren't from the Army, a lot of times these are just like, they're not factual. They're using expired information. They're using expired regulations in the military that have since been changed. So you really want to pay attention, and you really want to look at those, right? So civilians who comment on and write articles and stuff about the military, a lot of times has a lot of holes in it, in my personal opinion. And I know from a lot of cases it's just completely wrong, or it's just bad, right? Now when it comes to articles and stuff that has been written by the Army, right? Or if you're looking on an Army website, that is great. That is really nice, right? So if you can find something online specific to what you're actually looking for, and it's written by the military, by the Army, like the actual .gov Army website, that's good. 99 times out of 100, that should be good. And the reason I say that is sometimes even the Army forgets to update their websites and things like that, but you should really look at that. You should look at, you know, the last date that it was updated, right? So if you're looking at something maybe about, I don't know, basic training, and you see that it's not been updated since 2012, which I feel like is the date for a lot of things. Like for some reason, like there was a lot of updates in the Army in 2012 that haven't been updated since then. But you want to look at that. You want to look at, if you're looking at an article, if you're looking at something written by the Army, if you're looking at something written by whatever military source, look at when it was updated, when it was written. And if it was like 5-6 years ago, then maybe take it with a grain of salt. But if you're leaving for basic training in a couple of months and something was just written last week by the Army about a particular topic that you're looking at, then yeah, okay, that's probably really, really accurate. The other thing that you want to take into account is whenever you're looking at YouTube videos, you need to look at the time that that video was published. Even Army videos that were posted by the Army or on the Fort Benning YouTube page, right, talking about basic training, those videos that are 5, 6, 7 years old, a lot of that is going to be kind of expired. There's going to be a lot of incremental changes that have happened over the years, and some of the things that you might be expecting might not be the case, and some of the things you might not be expecting will be the case, right? So you want to kind of take those things with a grain of salt. In my opinion, a great source of information for things all military is finding somebody who is currently in the military to talk to them and ask them about their experiences, not necessarily talking about what it's going to be like factually, because I've said it multiple times and I'm going to say it again, a lot of your experiences in the military is going to have to do with your cadre, your higher ups, the people who are in charge of you, because it's not like, you know, Sergeant Major of the Army is the one dictating absolutely everything that goes along with every single company in the military. That's not the case. So it really depends on your command of how your experience is going to be kind of going throughout your military career. So talking to somebody who is currently in the military about their experiences is going to be a great source of information. It's going to be a great perspective for you to kind of take and digest and think about, and really kind of think about, hey, maybe this will compare to how my experience could be. Now, the next thing that I want to talk about is people who are not currently still in the military. So I said a great source of information is people who are currently in. Sometimes a pretty bad source of information for understanding or trying to picture what it's going to be like comes from people who are out of the military, who have been out for a long period of time, and they talk to you and they tell you stories, and maybe things have been exaggerated. You know how we tell stories over and over and over again, and sometimes it gets a little exaggerated as time goes on. I have seen that with a lot of different people. That is something that you definitely need to look out for whenever you're talking to somebody who was in a long time ago and they're not currently still in the military. So make sure you watch out for that. But that's pretty much what I wanted to say in this video. I wanted to just give you guys and put this out there that even the videos that I've made, even some articles that the Army will make, even some people who are in the military or out of the military, some of their experiences and knowledge and stories and factual information for the time of when they were in the military, it's not factual anymore. And I kind of want to just put that out there because I know a lot of people will join the military and they will have a certain expectation on what something is going to be like because somebody said that it is going to be like that. But in reality, once they get there, a few things are going to be different, and you might get upset, be like, oh my gosh, I wasn't expecting this, blah, blah, blah. They set me up for failure. They didn't tell me that it was going to be like this or whatever. I just want to put that out there. This is my little PSA to all of you guys who are going in the military soon. If you've heard stories from really anybody, including myself, right? Those are my stories. Those are my experiences. If you watch any other YouTubers, those are their stories and their experiences. And your story and your experience is not going to be the same, right? And if you're talking to your grandfather or something, just really, if you talk to anybody who has been out of the military for more than 10 years, really take what they're saying into consideration with a grain of salt, because the military changes a lot in 10 years, especially when it comes to regulations and things like that. They're always changing regulations. Just all these little incremental changes add up over the years. So that is going to be it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button. That would be awesome. If you check out some more of my videos, hit the subscribe button. That would be even freaking better. Follow me on Instagram and Snapchat if you hadn't already. Hope you guys have an amazing freaking day, and I will see you later.